took a solid sphere. Okay, solid sphere. I told you the entire charge is q and capital R is the radius, and I told you there's a point P over here, which is at a distance of small r from the center. Okay, so in the last lecture, that was in the morning, what we derived is the potential at this point was equal to what? Potential V is equal to kq, capital Q upon small r, where r is the distance between the center of the sphere and the point outside the sphere. Okay, so now what I told you, now I want to find out this point P, the potential at point P, but not at a certain radius r. I want to find out the potential at this point inside the sphere, and this is a solid sphere. So anyone's answers? No answers? Okay, we'll try it out, no problem. Consider that the electric field intensity, okay, at a point inside the hollow sphere, the solid sphere, what it was, you remember? Has anyone of you all taken down notes what we had done earlier? What is the electric field intensity inside the sphere, solid sphere? No response. Okay, it was, okay, just in case you all don't know, just let me know. Okay, others we can immediately derive that also. It is kqr small r upon r cube. It is kqr upon capital R cube. How did I get to this? See, I will do that also. Just takes 5 minutes. Please listen. Please listen, because this is important. Okay. Now suppose I take one sphere. Okay. This sphere. I'm doing it by Gauss's law. Okay. And let me make that big. Okay. And I'm telling that this has a capital R radius. Capital R. I want to find out the electric field intensity at a point inside the sphere, and this is a solid sphere. So what will be my Gaussian surface? Anyone, please tell me fast.
Sphere.
It will be a sphere.
Sphere.
It will be. Pay attention, everyone pay attention, no problem. Even if you all don't know, I will solve it again. See, and what can we take the sphere's radius to be? Small r. Okay, I will take it as small r. Okay, so capital R is basically the green color.
Capital R is a solid or a hollow sphere?
No, it's a solid sphere. Solid
Okay,
sphere. Both are solid spheres. Okay, both are
Okay.
solid spheres. Remember what is a solid
I
sphere?
was having doubt in the capital one.
Yeah. Now is it solved? It's solved.
Yes, sir.
Any problem?
No.
No, right? Okay. So see, this is a solid sphere. Everyone listen. 3-dimensional solid sphere. When I say solid sphere, basically it is made out of what? It is made out of let's say full cement inside. Okay, there is cement inside. Everything is closed. There is nothing hollow inside. It's a solid ball. Okay, it's a solid sphere. When I say hollow sphere, basically it is inside. It is empty inside. It's just a surface like a football. Okay, there's air inside. In this case, all the elements coming together form the sphere. Okay, it's not
Is
empty.
it conducting or non-conducting?
It's non-conducting. Non-conducting. That means the charge is at the surface. Everyone listen. The difference between non-conducting and conducting is simple. Okay, in non-conducting, the charges can be anywhere, inside, outside, everywhere. Conducting, all the charges will be outside. Listen to me. I have not yet done conductors, and I will be doing that in the next topic. Not next topic, maybe next to next topic, because I have to complete dipole also. So anyways, look here, this is non-conducting, charges at the surface and inside and everywhere. Okay, I have taken a sphere which is green. Okay, the radius is capital R. I want to find out the electric field intensity at a point inside this. So I took a Gaussian sphere which is red color of radius small r. Now I know what charge is equal, charge density. Okay, we'll come to charge density. What is charge density equal to? Charge density is equal to capital Q upon what? Volume. Am I right? In this case, I will take volume because it's a solid sphere. Okay. So now what I know, what is the volume of the outer sphere? Tell me, what is the volume of the outer sphere? It is 4/3 pi capital R cube. Okay. And now, similarly, what will be the volume of the red Gaussian sphere? It will be, let's say, q dash, okay, charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface upon 4 by 3 pi small r cube. Am I right? Now, if we
Yes, sir.
divide one, if we divide both of them, what will get? What will get? If I put a line in between and I tell you to divide both of them, what I'll get? I'll get, tell me first.
Small r cube upon capital R cube.
Small r cube upon capital R cube. But will q and q dash
Q
also get
upon
cut
Q
over?
dash. Q upon
So
Q.
that,
No.
so q upon q dash is equal to what? Is equal to what? Capital R cube, because q is belonging to what? The outer one. Q dash belongs to what? Smaller one. Is this clear? Everyone got this clear? This thing, how I got it? I divided both of this, I got this. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Give me a response, guys. Give me a response. I won't know others, whether you all understood or not understood. We are doing it through online medium, no? So I need your help. Okay. Now I know this much. I know this much. Now I can directly find out the electric field intensity. What is the electric field intensity at a point P going to become? I know kq upon r square. Kq upon r square. But which q? Which q? Inside I have taken Gaussian sphere. Which q? Q dash. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. I have written a q dash. You can see here. So I can, instead of writing this, what I can write, this q dash is equal to what I can write?
Cube, small r cube
dash
upon capital R cube.
Yeah, small r cube, capital R cube. Good response, guys. So if I put that, will I get the answer for electric field intensity at a point inside? E is equal to what? K. I'll put that. Yeah. Q r cube upon capital R cube into r square, and r square and this will get cut. Right. So what remains?
KQ small r
KQ
upon
R.
capital.
Capital
Yeah, kq small r upon r cube. Okay, so now you know the electric field intensity inside. I had done this previously. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I will rub it now. So now that you know, we can continue. Okay, we have to finish a lot of syllabus in a short period of time. I'm trying to do so many things. Okay, so now I told you that there is a sphere, and I want to find out the potential inside the sphere. I want to find out the potential inside the sphere. This sphere, this green color sphere, is actually a solid sphere. Okay, non-conducting solid sphere. Capital Q charge all over it. Okay, uniformly distributed. Capital R is the radius of it. Okay, I want to find out the electric field intensity at a point P, which is inside the sphere. Okay, and it is at a distance of r, small r. It is at a distance of small r. Okay, this is 3-dimensional. So now I know what? I know that E electric field inside the sphere is what? Everyone can tell me now what it is? KQ. What it is? Which
R.
r?
Small r upon r, capital R cube.
Yeah, small r upon capital R cube. Okay, so now if I know that, okay, you remember today morning what we had done? When I told you there was a point over here, it came from where? It had come from where? What are the limits I told you?
Infinity.
It comes from infinity. And it comes from infinity at what distance? It comes at a point where the radius between where the distance is small r. Okay. Now if I take this same point and I put it inside, from where it has come? It has come from infinity only. It has come from infinity. Then it came where? It came at capital R. It came till capital R. It came till here. I brought it from infinity. I brought it here. Distance between the origin of this sphere and the distance till here is capital R. Then I took it inside. Then the distance became small r. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has a doubt? No. Someone has a doubt? Anyone has a doubt? Tell me. Whenever you are calculating potential, you are trying to place a reference. You cannot directly calculate the potential without taking any reference. For example, you measure your height with respect to 0 meters. You say I am 1 meter, 1.5 meter, whatever. Similarly, with potential also it is the same. You have to take a point at a reference. I take it at infinity. I'm taking the point at infinity. I brought it from infinity all the way till the surface of this sphere. And what is the distance from the center to the surface of the sphere? It is capital R. And then I brought it inside the sphere. Then the distance reduces to small r. Okay. So this will be your limits while calculating the potential. That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay. So now if I know electric field intensity at a point inside, I know that electric field outside was what? In the morning we did what it was?
KQ by
KQ by capital R square.
capital R square.
Capital R square. Okay. So these two things keep in mind. 1 and 2. I'll tell you why we are using this. Okay. So now I know that potential dV is equal to what? Tell me. dV is equal to minus of E dot
Minus
dr.
of E naught into D
E dot dr.
E
dr.
dot dr. Yes. And now if I want to find out V, what I have to do? Simply integrate it. Integrate it. V is equal to integration of dV, which is equal to minus integration of E dot dr. And so, okay, now listen to me. Listen to me. You are integrating right now what E is. Let's consider E to be what? Let's consider E to be
Variable.
constant.
Constant.
E is constant, Baba.
Ah, sir.
It is constant. What is changing? dr is changing. Right now?
Yes, sir.
I am changing the distance. I am bringing it from infinity and coming
Yes,
here
sir.
means I'm changing distance. So if I am bringing it from infinity, okay, I am bringing it from infinity. I take it to where? The surface of the sphere, that is capital R. And then again I will write this E integration of from capital R, I am taking it to small r. And that is again dr. Any doubt? You all understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yeah. Now listen to me. When I'm taking it from infinity to capital R, that is from here to the surface of the sphere. Okay. What is going to be the electric field intensity out of these two? It's going to be what? E inside or E outside?
E outside.
Outside.
E outside.
E
And
outside.
here from capital R to small r will be what?
Inside.
Inside.
E inside.
Yeah,
E inside. Now substitute. That's
Inside.
so yeah, now you can substitute. So I will substitute. Can I rub this? I'll just rub it. Okay. Or no, let me, I have some space now. So I will write V, that is potential inside. I want to know the potential inside. To know the potential inside, I have to do such a lot of drama. Okay. So V inside is going to be what? Equal to what is E out? Tell me. Minus E out. Help me. KQ by
KQ by small
Small.
Small-
Capital R
Capital
square.
capital R
Capital.
square.
capital R square.
Sorry.
Capital R square. Okay. And then what is it going to be equal to? Integration of infinity to capital R,
Capital R.
dr.
dr.
and then minus of E inside is what? KQ
KQ small r upon
Small
capital
r.
R.
Smaller upon capital R cube.
Capital R
cube.
cube.
Again integration of R to small r
Small
dr.
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 Now tell me what is the integration of dr? You all know now that I won't explain.
Yes, sir.
Arey, tell me what is the integration
Capital
of
R.
small?
Capital R.
Capital R.
No, integration of
For
dr is
outside.
R, na?
R.
Integration. So I will write here. I am continuing this on top. So I will write Vn is equal to what? Minus KQ upon R square integration of R from infinity to capital R minus KQR upon R cube. R cube. It's going to be R from capital R to smaller. Capital R to smaller. So now let's solve it. That is going to be minus KQ upon R square. Okay. It's going to be R minus what?
R infinity.
Huh?
0. R minus 0.
Yeah.
Capital R.
Yeah, it's going to be capital R.
Capital
And
R.
then what? Minus KQ R upon R cube. What is it going to be? R minus, tell me.
Capital R.
Capital R.
Capital R.
Capital R.
Just a minute, just a minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute. What? Give me a second.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
a small
here
mistake.
K and Q are constants. R is not constant here.
Capital, yeah. Wait 1 minute.
Capital R is not constant.
No, capital R is constant. No, why capital R is not constant? What is the mistake I've done? Anyone?
Sir, small r because it is varying.
No. Yes, small r is varying. Right. Anyone else got the answer? Got the this? Anyone else understood the mistake? No response?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the mistake?
Sir, small r is varying.
Small r is varying. So where is my mistake?
Sir, in
Sir,
the
KQ by
second
small r.
integral, in the second integral, there you have
Second
taken
integral.
r outside the integration.
R outside the
Still
integration.
outside.
Just a second. It's going to be integration of KQ upon R cube, and it's going to be what?
R square by
RDR.
2.
Sir, rdr.
R
Yeah.
Integration of rdr.
R dr. Yeah, integration of R dr. That is the mistake. Everyone understood now?
Yes, sir.
Did everyone understand? Look here. Again, I'm explaining. This R is not a constant. This R is not a constant. So instead of this, I will take the R inside. Okay. I will take the R inside. Has everyone understood why that small r is not constant? Because see, I'm changing
Sir,
it by
the
what
particle
mistake?
is moving.
I'm changing it by dr, no? I'm
Yes, sir.
changing it by dr, small r. If I'm changing it with d small dr, then this r also is not a constant. Is that okay? Everyone comfortable with that? Small
Sir,
mistake?
the limits will
Yes,
also
sir.
change.
Yes. So I'll just derive that again. Okay, no problem. So it's going to be equal to what? Minus KQ by R square. Minus KQ by R square. And this will be the same exact thing. R. Okay. R from infinity and minus of KQ by capital R cube. This will be what? R square by 2.
R square by 2.
And limits will be
0
from
to
capital R to smaller. Why? It's the same thing. I'm bringing it from outside. I brought it to this. This is at infinity. I brought it to capital R. And from capital R, I took it to smaller. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So if I solve this, what I will get? I'll get minus KQ
Q
R upon R square.
R square.
That will get cut. Minus KQ upon R cube
R cube.
into R square minus capital R square.
Capital R
by
square by
2.
2.
Okay. Then what I will get? Tell me. I can take KQ by R common.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I cut this, so it will become what? KQ by R. I will take. Okay. I will take minus common. Just minus common KQ by R cube if I take common. If I take R cube common, what I will get here? I will get R what square? R square minus what I will get? Tell me.
Small r square minus 1 by 2.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I open the bracket, so minus and minus into minus plus. So that will become minus KQ by R cube. Okay. 2
capital R square
square
minus R
minus
square
R square plus
upon 2.
square upon 2. That is going to give me what? 2R plus R square. Capital R square is going to give me what? This and this will add.
2R plus 3R square.
Sir, 3R square minus small r square.
Yes, upon 2, na?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
3R square minus R square. Okay, 2. I took 2 outside. So this is your potential at a point inside the solid sphere. Is this clear? Is this clear? If there is any doubt, okay, I'm telling you again, any one of you all has a doubt, and if you all feel that you all don't want to publicly tell it, please send me a message on private chat and I will look into it. Okay, so this is the potential at minus k cube. Okay, 2r cube 3r square minus r square. Is that clear? Okay. Now, let's go to an interesting topic. This interesting topic is known as equipotential surfaces. Has anyone does anyone have an idea of this? What this means? Equipotential surfaces. Okay. Equipotential surfaces simply means that at every point on the surface, the potential is going to be equal, and that is why we name it as equal. Okay, equal potential at all points. Okay, you are having some surface. You are having some surface, and at this surface, okay, you are able to tell. Of course, it won't be irregular like this, but I'm just giving an example that the potential, okay, is going to be constant. That means rate of change of potential with respect to a certain distance r is going to be 0. Okay, rate of change of potential with a certain distance r, rate of change of distance, okay, will be equal to 0. And if this is 0, what will we be equal to? We will be a constant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, if I take a point charge, what will be the equipotential surface to a point charge? What will it be? Okay, before that, this point charge is going to radiate some electric field lines out of it. Yes or no? So it will radiate like
Yes,
this.
sir.
Okay, understand this small thing, you will understand many other concepts for those who don't know. Okay. Okay, this is electric field lines. They radiate from the point spheres. Okay, so from the point charge. Okay, now as I had explained earlier in the lecture in the morning, that if I am moving, okay, if I know that Ex is equal to what? Minus dV by dx. Okay, and if E is having some certain component, like E is like this and R is like this. If I say E is like this, R is like this, and they're having some angle theta, then I can say that E cos theta, Ex cos theta is equal to minus dV by dr. Then I told you that if theta is equal to 0, then I will get the maximum value, that is Ex is equal to minus dV by dr. What this means is, if I am, listen to me, if I am moving in the direction of electric field lines, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? The potential is going to drop. The rate of change of potential is going to drop. Am I right? No responses. There's no responses. There's no response. Is my audio audible? Oh, there's still no response. Okay. Ex is equal to minus dv by dx. Okay. And the angle between electric field lines, suppose I say electric field line is like this and r is distance is like this. Then the angle between them, if suppose it's theta, then I can say that Ex cos theta is equal to minus dv by dr. Okay. And if theta is equal to 0, I can say that means if theta is equal to 0 means what? If my electric field lines are in the direction of r, if they are in the direction of my displacement, then I will get the maximum value of electric field lines. And if I and that maximum value, okay, that maximum value says that wherever the electric field lines are going, okay, if they are going in x-axis direction, in that direction itself, potential will decrease by minus dv by dx. It will decrease by minus dv by dx. Okay, so if I am moving along this distance, is my potential going to change? Is my potential going to change? Okay, there is no response from anyone. Is this something? Is something wrong? Okay, right. And if I am moving along this distance, then my potential is going to change. Okay, look here. The angles between this and this is basically 0 to 90. I am going to get, okay, if I move anywhere in this distance, the potential is going to drop. If I move in the opposite direction, what is going to happen? What will happen? If I say E cos theta is equal to minus dv by dr, and I say theta is an obtuse angle which is between 90 degree it's in between 90 degrees and 180 degrees, then what I will get values of cos theta, I'll get negative values. And if I get negative values of cos theta, then what will happen? This will automatically be plus.
Positive.
Rate of change of potential will start increasing here. So, okay, rate of change of, okay. So that is what I want you to know. If you move in a direction which is along the electric field lines, the rate of potential will drop. And if you move in the direction opposite to the electric field lines, the potential increases. Now, if I say E cos theta, okay, E cos theta is equal to minus dv by dr, and I say theta is equal to, okay, theta is equal to pi by 2, then what is going to be the rate of change of potential? What I will get?
Constant. 0.
I will get
Zero.
dv. Yeah, so this is the
0.
this is the concept of equipotential surfaces. So now if I have to draw an equipotential surface around a point charge, I have to draw it in such a way that electric field lines and the angle between the electric field lines and my displacement is basically going to be pi by 2. Okay, my displacement r. Okay, the angle between my electric field lines and my displacement should be in such a way that the angle is basically pi by 2. And so if I am able to achieve this, I am going to get a rate of change of potential which will be equal to 0. What it simply means, rate of change of potential equal to 0 means the potential is not changing. So the potential is not changing. So basically what it means, dv by dr equal to 0 means V is constant. V is constant. Okay, so suppose the electric field lines, I am considering this electric field line, this one on top. what is going to be the perpendicular line? How can I draw perpendicular to it like this?
Yes, sir.
And how can I draw a perpendicular to this like this? Same, I can draw a perpendicular to like this over here, like this. And if I consider infinite electric field lines, if I consider infinite electric field lines emerging out of this point charge,
It will be a sphere.
what? It will be a sphere.
Here.
So now you understood, this is basically the equipotential surface of a point charge. Is it clear? That means if I take a point
Yes,
over
sir.
here, if I take a point at this point, at this sphere, and if I move the charge, I place a charge over here and I move it by a certain distance, what is going to be my potential? It will still be constant. It will be constant. Is this clear?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
let's come to
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's say my electric field lines are in this direction. And I say that I want to ask you, how will the equipotential surfaces in this situation look like? How will it look like? Will they look like this? They are perpendicular.
Parallel sheets.
Yeah, they are going to be parallel sheets. Okay, has everyone understood this? If your electric field lines are towards x-axis direction, considering this to be three-dimensional, they are all together grouped and going towards x-axis direction, you are going to get something like a parallel sheet. You're going to get parallel sheets. Okay, and so if I keep it, if I take a two-dimensional view of this, of this entire thing, let's say, okay, two-dimensional view in the sense like this, I take E over here, electric field lines in this point, and I'm saying potential, my equipotential surfaces are like this. Okay, I tell this is V1, I'm saying this is V2, I'm saying this is V3, this is V4, and this is V5. Tell me the order of arrangement in which the potential is actually. Which one is the greatest, which one is the smallest?
V1 is the
One is
greatest.
the greatest.
So
Yeah,
V1 is the
the-
greatest
V1 is the greatest.
and V5 is the smallest.
Yeah, so
V5
it is the-
smallest.
yes, so the order of potential is going to decrease in this manner. Okay, but suppose I say that the electric field lines are now going in this direction. Then what is going to happen?
V1 is the smallest and
One
V5 will be
is the
highest.
greatest.
So now it is very clear for you all that the potential decreases when electric field increases. Okay, I have also derived it. Okay, there's also derivation done regarding it. Okay, so I can consider that this thing is quite clear to everyone. Okay, now a small sum. Let's do a small sum. Okay, let's consider E to be equal to, there is electric field intensity. Electric field, okay, in a surface, it's around 10 newtons per coulomb. Okay, 10 newtons per coulomb, and I'm telling you to find out what VA minus VB will be equal to. I want you to find out what is VA minus VB, basically rate of change of potential. And so I'm trying to, I want you to find out in this diagram. Okay, I hope you can see it. So I'm telling you that there is a point A over here, there is a charge B over here, C over here. I'm saying the distance between all of this is going to be 2 meters. This 2 meters. Okay. So, and the electric field lines are in this direction. Okay. So, can anyone immediately tell me what the potential difference is going to be? Quickly. How much time left? It's a very easy thing. Okay. Of course, my line is not straight. You can make a straight triangle. You can make a straight triangle. Okay. What is VA minus VB going to be equal to? Okay. Can anyone tell me immediately? It's not a very big answer. Okay, there seems to be no response. Can I say that dV is equal to minus E dot dr? dV is equal to minus E dot dr? Yes or no? And what is E I have given you as? What I have given you E as?
Yes,
I have
sir.
given you minus 10 Newton per coulomb. Minus 10 Newton per coulomb dr. Okay, before that, we have to even consider the angles. Okay, so if I open E dot dr, what I'm going to get? E dr cos theta. E dr cos theta. So I'm going to get minus 10. Okay, dr. What is going to be the cos theta over here?
Cos 60.
Cos 60. Everyone understood why it is cos 60? It basically becomes an equilateral triangle. Okay, so what is cos 60? What is cos 60 going to be equal to?
1 by 2.
So how much will be? I can write here directly. 1 by 2 means how much? Tell me.
Minus
Minus
5
5 dot dr.
Minus
What is the
5
change of? What is the change of it? What is the change of the distance? How much is it changing?
2 meters.
2.
No. Array, before that, first of all, you have to consider d. This is dv, na? So what will be v equal to? Minus 5 integration of dr. Limits are from where to where? From 0 to 2. That will be equal to how much?
Minus 10 volts.
Minus 10 volts. So the difference of potential between A and B is going to be minus 10 volts. And you can see that it is decreasing. It is decreasing. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so this was all for today. There's 1 minute left in my Zoom recording, and I think the time is almost over. So thank you all for coming, and I can see the chats. I'll just see the chats. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Ross.